Oh yeah, we are getting the party started with these jalapeno poppers. Jalapeno poppers are always a snackable favorite for game days, gatherings, and parties, and it's hard to resist that spicy exterior and oozy, cheesy, and bacony center. Now there are numerous ways you can make jalapeno poppers, from deep fried and breaded to baked, as I'm gonna show you today. You can even find them bacon wrapped, but I'll tell you why I personally prefer the bacon on the inside rather than wrapped on the outside as we make them together today. And one thing is for certain with this finger food favorite, and that is that you're gonna wanna pop them one after the other into your mouth. So let me show you how to make them. The first thing you need to do is soften 8 ounces of cream cheese, and it can actually take a bit longer than you'd think for it to soften, so I do recommend putting it in a bowl at room temperature before doing anything else, and then just set that aside. Now, after making jalapeno poppers a bunch of different ways over the years, I much prefer the bacon crumbled inside the poppers. I find that when the bacon is wrapped on the outside, it doesn't always get perfectly crispy, or it cooks unevenly depending on the thickness of the bacon. So instead, I like to just bake the bacon on its own in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 to 18 minutes, or until it's nice and crispy. You'll need 6 slices for this recipe, but I'm filling up my sheet pan with 8 slices because I don't know about you, but I find it hard to cook bacon without wanting to sneak a few extra pieces for myself to nibble on. Moving on to the jalapenos, you'll need 10 large jalapeno peppers about yay big. Slice those in half, then use a small spoon to scoop out the seeds and membrane. I just start my spoon at one end and sort of shimmy it down the length of the pepper. Repeat this process until all of your peppers are de-seeded, and big reminder to not rub your eyes or your face as you're doing this, because the capsaicin oil from the peppers can transfer from your hands to your face and cause a pretty significant burning sensation. If this has ever happened to you, you know what I'm talking about, and I think you only ever make that mistake once. So after you've handled the peppers, or even in between steps, make sure to wash your hands with soap and water. Lay the halved jalapeno peppers on a baking sheet, and then let's make the filling. Grate 1½ cups of cheddar cheese. I like sharp cheddar, but you can use your favorite, and then set that aside. At this point, your bacon should be done, and while you want your bacon crispy, I admittedly got mine a smidge extra crispy today because I forgot to set the timer on my oven. But that's fine, as no one will even notice when it's inside the filling. Transfer the bacon to a paper towel to drain the excess grease, and if you've got a few extra pieces like I do, you can go ahead and enjoy those, which is one of the joys of being the person who cooks. All right, let's make this filling. Add the cheddar cheese to your bowl of softened cream cheese and crumble 4 of the 6 pieces of bacon into the bowl. Add 3 tablespoons of thinly sliced chives, and you can slice another tablespoon to reserve for garnishing at the end. Then mince 2 garlic cloves straight into the bowl and season with salt and pepper to your liking. Stir that together, and you can see that this is why your cream cheese needs to be softened at room temperature. Otherwise, it's much harder to stir and mix. If you do find that it's still too firm, you can always pop it in the microwave in 5-second increments until it's slightly softened. Then once that's done, it's time to fill up the peppers. I use a small spoon to scrape some of the filling into each pepper. And pro tip, you don't want to mound the filling too high because it will seep out in the oven and then create a mess on your baking sheet. And ask me how I know this. So try to make sure that the filling is mostly level with the peppers. After filling up all of the peppers, you may have some extra filling because jalapeno peppers do range in size. But I've got a few tips on the outro for what you can do with this extra filling, so make sure to watch that. But once your sheet pan of peppers are all filled and ready to go, bake them in a 400 degree Fahrenheit oven for 15 to 20 minutes until they're lightly golden on top. The smell of these when they come out of the oven is so tantalizing, and it's hard to resist popping them in my mouth at this stage. But if you're serving these up for game day or Super Bowl or any other party or gathering and want to make them extra fancy on a serving platter, you can crumble those extra 2 pieces of bacon on top and then garnish with a little bit extra of the sliced chives. These jalapeno poppers are always a hit and highly addictive, which means that they disappear fast. So if you are having a party, just a heads up that you might want to plan ahead and make a double batch, because I could pretty much polish off this plate here all by myself. It is always hard to resist anything with the smell of bacon. I'm debating, should I take one from the tray or the plate? I stacked the plate's so pretty, I don't want to mess it up. Let's give these a try. That is so incredibly delicious. I'm gonna be highly disappointed in you guys if you do not make this for Super Bowl this year, because this will be a party pleaser all around. Now, as I mentioned earlier, depending on the size of your jalapeno peppers, you may have a little bit of the filling left over. And so you can either grab a few extra jalapeno peppers and just fill the sheet all the way, or you can use the leftovers. I would put it into scrambled eggs in the morning. It would be great on tortillas. I would use gluten-free tortillas like a quesadilla. Then you get that bacony, cheesy goodness all melted in. You could put it on baked potatoes, on smashed potatoes. So if you do have some left over the filling, definitely don't let it go to waste. And in terms of other delicious must-make appetizers, guacamole. You guys know I'm kind of famous for my guacamole. That is a must-make. My chili recipe is always a hit. I've got several recipes for chicken wings. I have air fryer chicken wings and I have baked chicken wings that are 2 different flavors. I've got nachos, I have 7-layer dip, I have hummus, I've got white bean dip. I have so many delicious appetizers and finger foods, and I will leave a link to all of those below. I hope you guys enjoyed today's recipe for jalapeno poppers. I am going to continue to eat a few more. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and write a review of these jalapeno poppers over on my recipe after you've made them. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video.